Welcome to Talkin to Taylor. I'm your host, Taylor Dragovich, an AMP Media Productions producer. You can catch me here every Monday at 11 a.m. I'll be interviewing guests, reviewing movies, talking about pop culture, and so much more every week. Now time for the show. Hello, and welcome back. This week, I have a guest, if you cannot tell. And if you're wondering who this guest is, he's known me my whole life. This is my dad.
Hey there.
His name is Mike, if you were wondering. He does a lot of the voiceovers here, so he kind of is an intern here in a way. But he's like my assistant.
That's right. I'm an old intern.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about how it's been being my dad, how it's like being a teacher. He was also my teacher, fun fact. He teaches at Krista McAuliffe Middle School. You teach 7th grade?
7th
now,
grade,
right?
yeah.
You've been all over though. You mostly taught 6th grade, and then you taught 8th grade, and now you're teaching 7th.
Yeah, I've done it all.
Mm-hmm. So which one is your favorite though?
Oh, just depends on which students I have.
I thought you were going to say 6th grade.
Oh.
I don't think you liked 8th grade, though, because they think they're, like,
They think they're too cool for themselves, yeah.
Yeah. But it's middle school, so
True.
How great can it be? So, first off, we'll start with, how do you like doing the voiceovers here? Everyone here calls you the star because you do all the voiceovers.
It's fun, I didn't realize I had such a talent.
Yeah.
It's
true.
It's tough being talented, right, T?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can relate to that.
Yeah, it's fun, though. I enjoy it.
That's good, because I probably got many more for you in the future. Probably today, actually. Next question. We'll move on to you being a teacher.
Okay.
So, you started teaching, you were like 22, right?
It was a long time ago, way back in the 1900s, as you would say.
Yeah.
1997.
That's what I always say to make him feel really old. So, what is your favorite part about being a teacher? I'll start with that.
Favorite part about being the teacher? Well, it just a lot depends on a lot of factors, but being the PE teacher now, my favorite part is probably when kids realize that PE's fun and it's not their enemy, and they get in better shape, and the excitement they have when they do better.
I had him as PE teacher, by the way.
Yep.
Way back in the day. And that is a big part of the reason why I did cross country and track. So, shout out. But yes, you made it more fun because you would do fun games, which a lot of the kids didn't like your class, especially at first, because you would actually make them do stuff. So a lot of the other teachers, like gym teachers, would be like, okay, you can do whatever you want, and the kids would just sit around. You would make fun games. There was Survivor, which wasn't the most fun game, but Survivor, if you ever seen the show Survivor, they had this one game where you would they were in the ocean, and they would carry these really heavy sandbags in like a big circle, and whoever caught the other team first won. It's hard to explain, but you would do that where you'd run in a circle around cones all connected, and whoever caught up to the other team first won. And they would always put me last because I would be the last one standing, because they always thought that I was really good just because I was the gym coach's daughter. But
well, PE's got a big stigma. So many people think, oh, it's just a joke, it doesn't matter. But we live in a world where people are getting heavier and heavier. We have this huge obesity epidemic, and as far as I'm concerned, PE is one of, if not the most important subject. It's great. I tell my students, if you have $1 billion, that's fantastic. But if you're dead at 40, which was a while ago for me, what good's $1 billion? You need both. You need academics, and you need that exercise. Stay in shape. It's hard.
What's your favorite game that you've created?
Oh, my favorite game that I've created. I've created a lot, but probably the Magic Paperclip game. That seems to be everyone's favorite game. I like the scavenger hunts. Those are fun also. Those are fun. But they're starting to get a little old because there's only so many different things you can find at a school without getting yourself in trouble.
back when I would come visit him at like school when I was younger. I was in elementary school, and I would look at these middle schoolers like, oh, they're so old. And then I would go to the track practices, and I would see you doing the scavenger hunts. And my favorite was when you made them like catch a lizard as one of them.
Hey.
And these kids would spend like
work.
10 minutes just like, where's a lizard? We can't find one. And they would like pounce on this lizard, these like little middle school boys, and they thought they were so cool for catching like this little lizard.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But yeah, Magic Paperclip was really fun. It's this game basically where one team is offense, one team is defense, and he goes around he puts everyone in a circle on one team, and he goes around on each person's hand, and then a random person on the team will get paperclip. It'll be like 15 people on a team, and then like 2 of them will get a paperclip, but they'll close their hands and they run to the other side of the field, but everyone closes their hands, so you don't know who has the magic paperclip.
Thus,
yeah,
the magic.
Mm-hmm. And so when you're going to the other side, you have flags tied around your waist, like for flag football kind of flags, and the defensive team is trying to pull everyone's flag because they don't know who has the paperclip. So they just want to pull everyone as much as they can. But then if the person with the paperclip gets to the other side with the paperclip, or, well, they can't drop the paperclip, but if they get to the other side with the flag still around their waist, then the other team, the offensive team, gets a point.
Yeah, it's all about points, and I know it's a long, confusing explanation. It's so much easier when you get out there and you play.
It's pretty fun.
You know,
it's,
yeah. Unfortunately,
it's a lot of running from one side to the other.
Haven't played in a while. It's not a COVID-friendly game.
Yeah,
Nothing is
true.
COVID-friendly in PE when you're, running
we also
around,
would play
getting close
flag
together.
football, but that didn't always work out because some people can't catch a ball.
Well,
kind of including me. I wasn't the best, but I tried.
Yeah, you tried. With anything in PE, everything is modified so that everyone can be successful. You still caught the ball. You still pulled flags. Even those students that are honestly totally afraid of a ball. It's crazy what you will see in middle school. You can toss a ball to somebody and they will literally be deathly afraid because an object is moving towards them at a speed slower than a snail, and they will still freak out. But
that's true. Well, I caught the ball, so that's
and you
what
dropped
counts.
it.
Well,
let's be honest.
We don't need to talk about that part. I was in 6th grade. I could probably do it better now. Maybe. Any moments in teaching that you'll never forget? They could be good or bad.
Oh my gosh, there's too many to remember. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. It was my 24th year. But, the best memories are those where the students and the students' parents, it's some of the better memories have come outside of school when they come up to you and say, oh my gosh, I remember you. And it was just,
I always felt like he was famous.
I know, it was not long ago.
Coach Dragovich.
Yeah, I had a student come up to me in Target. He was probably about 10 years ago, and I remembered who he was, and he's like, oh my gosh, the biggest compliment he gave me, he's like, you look the same. Oh man, thanks dude, that was a long time ago, and if I can look the same now than I did 10 years ago, I must be doing something right. But, as part of owning the Cold Stone, his former students will come in and tell the staff, oh my gosh, I had Coach Dragovich or Mr. Dragovich as a teacher, he was so awesome. Those are the best parts.
I work at Cold Stone, where, the one that he owned, and people come in all the time. They don't know I'm his daughter. Well, sometimes they do. They recognize me. They're like, are you his daughter? Because they either used to work there or they had him as a teacher, and then they remember me because, there's either pictures of me in his classroom or, like, he brought me in to bring your kids to work day or something like that. Or they remember when I was, running around the Cold Stone as a little kid. And they're like, are you his daughter? And I'm like, I don't think I look that similar from when I was a kid.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we look similar?
Everyone thinks that me and him look more similar. I see it because I saw a picture of him when he was young the other day when he was like, how old were you in those pictures? Like
I don't know.
15, 16, something like that. But yeah, but people come in all the time. They're like, does Mike Dragovich still own this place? And most of the time they don't know I'm his daughter. And I'm like, yep, still him. They're like, wow, I had him as a teacher like this many years ago. And they still remember you.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
They're like, tell him that, and they'll say their first name. Tell him like Sarah said hi. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, he's not going to know who you are.
Last names, people. Last names.
He calls people by their last name only. I was like one of the only people that he called by their first name. So it would be kind of weird if he was saying like, hey, Dragovich. You're interrupting.
It's your grandma.
Oh, hi, Grandma.
She must not be watching the show. Come on.
The heck?
That's
Maybe she
up.
wants to call in. But a moment that I just remembered that you told me about with your class was when that kid passed out. I don't think you'll forget that.
No, that was a scary moment. Just standing there, and for some reason, I guess he found out later he had some sort of medical condition. He just totally passed out, face planted right there on the concrete. It was a scary situation that luckily is now interesting and memory that we can talk about in a positive way because he's okay and there's nothing wrong with him. Yay. But man, I will never forget, all of a sudden, just out of the corner of my eye, I see him collapsing, falling onto the track. I'm just glad as he fell, he didn't.
Hard.
I'm just glad he kept all of his teeth. That was one of my big scary moments when I checked him out. Was, oh boy, does he have all of his teeth? Because falling at that. But that was crazy. You know.
People falling on that track, it hurts. Like, I never fell on it, but I've heard from people that it hurts.
It's like a street. If you're running in the street and you fall in the street,
it's not one of those nice rubber tracks
good.
Like we had at high school, which it still would hurt if you fell on it. But the track at my high school was more like rubber material, like a little nicer. The track at my middle school,
nobody takes care of middle schools, do you?
No. Who cares? It's just middle
beginning
school.
Of sports, the dumping ground of sports. We haven't played sports all year, but high school's played all year.
That's true.
It's frustrating. So middle school parents, all of you that are watching, call in. Tell them you're sick of it. You want to play.
True. Call Chris McCullough. Tell him. Fix that track. Let's see. And anything?
What else you got?
Well, I guess we'll go to a commercial right now so that you can, and then we will talk about when we come back what it's like owning a business. So, see you then.
Sounds good. Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
Thanks for tuning into Talkin' to Taylor, coming to you every Monday at 11 a.m. Now back to the show. And we're back. So, if you missed that commercial was for Cold Stone, which is owned by the one and only Mike Drag right here. So he hasn't been nice enough to employ me. So I can talk about being an employee and he can talk about being a boss there. So when did you first open your Cold Stones?
Oh, man. We opened our first one back all the way in 2004, so not the 1900s, the 2000s. It was in Boynton Beach, and it was scary. It was a lot of work, but it has definitely paid off. 17 years later, we are still open. You know, I wish I could say the same about a lot of other people that I know, friends that I know that opened their stores, and they weren't as lucky or as successful as we have been. So, you know, we're still there.
And he's got two. There's one in Boynton Beach and one in Lake Worth. I work at the Lake Worth one mostly, but I was working at the Boynton one yesterday, and I did have someone come in, and they were like, or I had someone call and someone come in. Like, it's weird that this happened twice in one day, but I do get this question all the time, like, where'd all the other Cold Stones go? There used to be one. Like, this guy called yesterday, and he was like, there used to be one off Okeechobee, and it's not there anymore. Like, what happened to it? And I'm like, all of them shut down. I think that's the most recent one that was still open and now.
Yeah, it's a common misconception with people that, oh look, I go to this business, it must do well. There's so many different factors that go into running a business that the average person doesn't understand that goes with it, and it's tough. But you got to make it work, and the best part, or the thing that makes run the business the best, are the employees. You know, so people like Taylor and all the employees that we have, you know, they can be the best part and they can be the hardest part, but, you know, that's what makes it go.
Yeah, I've been working there now for the past 6 years now, I think. So I've been there a long time. So like not from the beginning, but a lot of the stories that he probably has, I've been there to experience myself in the past few years. And I can tell you from watching him make the schedules to doing payroll. I was just watching him do payroll this morning, putting in my hours and stuff. It's not the easiest, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. People think that he's like just gonna constantly be there, but he's not. But he comes in, he'll, like when we're running low on milk or bananas or something like that, I have to call him and then he has to bring it in. So it's a lot of like, it's basically a 24-hour job in a way, because you always gotta have your phone handy, because if I have a really important cake order to take or something like that and you don't answer, then I'm screwed, because I'm not going to know the answer to most of the questions that these customers have or these issues that they have.
Yeah, most customers are fantastic, but you get a select group that nothing is ever correct for them or nothing is ever right, but that's life. And you
sadly,
gotta move on
the
from
bad
that.
outshines the good, because yesterday I was working. I didn't have a single I had a few more annoying ones, but, I didn't really have a difficult customer per se. But I still, if someone's like, how are the customers? I'm still going to just think back to all the bad moments that I had with them and be like, they suck. But really, most of them they're fine. They just come in, order, and they leave.
It's a hard thing. When you in the position you have, it's a customer service business. It's a customer service position. And you just never know when people walk in, what kind of day are they having? And, if every employee could remember, hey, it's my job to try to make their day a little bit better. They're in here for a reason. It's ice cream. It's supposed to make people happy. And if they come in with a bad mood, hopefully you can change that around for them and make them happy. And unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Some people come in with a bad attitude and keep it. But, for the most part, that taste of that ice cream, the smile on, if you could see a smile with the masks anymore, but smile on your face, it can change somebody's day. And I'll bet people have walked out and got a different opinion of you, and you're famous in some families and you don't even realize it because of how you've treated them. And they think, I got to go back there. I hope I get back there. That Taylor's working, or that Hannah, or any of the other awesome employees that we have.
Yeah, there are a few people that are like, I really like when you mix my ice cream. I don't have as many regulars as Leandra. My friend Leandra that works at Cold Stone, she is very good at talking to people. I'm not the greatest at talking to people. I'm not a big talker. But, you got to be as nice as you can, because like you said, you don't know if they're having a bad day, which it's not always easy, because if I've been working 3 to close and it's like 10:30 at night and you're still coming in and you're being rude, I'm not going to really feel like I want to be nice to you. But I'm still supposed to, because I am the employee. Yeah. But it's hard on both sides. It's not easy being an employee. It's not easy being a boss. So
yeah, pretty much anybody can relate. Everybody's,
That's true.
I'm not necessarily in random customer service as a teacher, but trust me, there are students I've had in the past where I thought, oh man, this kid, he or she are trouble. They're going to hate me forever. And then I'll see them in a few years and they have nothing but great memories. And I think, wow, I didn't see that one coming. So
and a lot of your students, not a lot, but a few of them end up working for you too.
Yeah.
So a lot of connections. But let's see.
What's next?
Next, I will talk about you being a dad. So this is my dad. That's the way, everyone's like, how is it weird having your coach or your dad as a coach? It's weird having your boss be your dad. But I'm kind of used to it at this point, because he is just always around. And it's not like he treats me super different. It's not like he goes boss mode and then he's just always dad mode to me. Because that's what he is. He's my dad. So I'm the oldest of 5. So he has 5 kids. I'm the oldest, and then so you have 3 daughters and 2 sons.
Correct.
There's me, I'm 20, and then my sister, Alyssa, is 19, and then my brother, Michael, is 13. My sister, Megan, is 12, and my brother, Brandon, is 10, gonna be 11 soon in April. So how is it, having that many kids to keep track of?
Oh, a lot of people would think, it's hard, it's tough. The honest answer is the greatest thing in the world. Hands down.
Such a dad answer.
Yeah. I wish every dad can answer it that way, to be honest with you.
Like
but,
this morning, my brothers were like, they have spring break now, which is why he can be here. But my brothers were screaming at the TV this morning because they're playing. What are they playing? Fortnite
it's Minecraft.
Or something?
Come on.
Minecraft. Okay, Michael did say he doesn't play Fortnite really much anymore.
Yeah, it'll
now
change.
He just plays Minecraft. But I guess like they're playing with their friend on the phone, just screaming, "Colton, you're not doing this right!" And it's just you can hear it throughout the house.
Yep.
It's very annoying, but you know we do have our fun moments. So
there's a lot more fun than not fun. You know, everything has its stresses. Every parent will sit there and tell you there are days that are like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?" But in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing more important that I've ever done. Nothing better that I've ever done. You know, as far as that, but you know, started way back in the day. You know,
yeah.
But
what was it like with me being your first kid?
You were trouble at first.
Well,
Taylor,
yeah,
I don't know what stories you've told. Taylor was born literally 3 months early, and shout out to her mom. I did everything she could, you know. So, and it's not just me. It's myself, my wife. We do this together. We've done a lot, and she's just as amazing, if not more amazing than me, to put up with all of this and do everything she's done. And you know, it's hard. You know, yeah, I am a school teacher. I do own a business, and we do have 5 kids, but we make it work. And there are times that it's tough, but you know, she's the one that has kept this all together and kept this moving. And you know, I couldn't do it by myself. That's for darn sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, Taylor, you were trouble.
Started off the drag.
Started it off, born 3 months early, in the hospital for 2.5 months. Crazy stuff.
What was
heart
it like
surgery.
Being like a new dad, and then you had to go through all that.
Well, looking back on it, being the new dad made it easier, to be honest with you. I don't know what I would have done if we had 4 healthy come home from the hospital kids, and then when our youngest kid Brandon was born, if he was in the hospital for 2 months, that would have been completely different. But we didn't know any better with you, Taylor. You started us off and made everyone else's trip home that much awesomer and easier and better. But yeah, every day for 2.5 months, we'd make the trip over to St. Mary's and go visit you and tiny little Taylor.
Yeah. I used to be so tiny. Yep. Really let myself go.
Super tiny. All of 2 pounds, 13 ounces at your smallest weight there. Tiny.
Yeah. So what else was I going to say about that? I was going to show a picture that you have in, I think, if I'm thinking of the right picture, there's a picture that I'll put on the Instagram, Talkin to Taylor, where you're holding me for the first time, and it was on Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
Which was like, Father's Day is close to your birthday, too.
No, it's in June. It was about 10 days after you were born. It was the first time I got to hold you. Yeah. Maybe not quite
that many days. That's quite a while to wait to hold your first kid.
It is.
I think, so.
It is.
Yeah. Was it hard to wait to meet me? Because you were so excited.
I know. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough, but totally worth it.
Now you get to see me every day. So lucky.
Most days, that's good.
Yeah. So, let's see. What have you learned about being a dad? So you're a very experienced dad in a way, because you have 5 kids. You've been a dad for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Any advice you have for other dads or other parents?
Man, advice for other parents.
If you're like qualified, I guess.
Yeah. Enjoy it. It flies by. I can't believe you're sitting here with me and I'm on your show. You're 20 years old. I don't know where the time went. Mm-hmm. As any adult will tell you, time definitely flies. Appreciate it while it's there. Enjoy those memories. Enjoy those moments. I know your mom and I, we talk a lot of when they happen, trying to appreciate the time. Try to appreciate those moments. And it's way easier said than done. But it's by far the most important thing we'll ever do. And, you know, we talk about it all the time with every one of the kids. And school's important. There's a lot of things that are important out there, but being a parent and doing our job so that one day you actually have to leave us, which is a scary thought, you know, and that's where it is.
What's it like raising 5 kids with, like, such different personalities? Like, what is it like throughout the years? Because, you know, you start off with me, like the shy one, and then you went to Alyssa, the way less shy kid, and then you went to Michael, kind of like He's Michael. It's hard to explain
Every
him.
single kid is similar in certain ways and completely different in others, and you're each unique and awesome in your own ways. And that's the best way to say it is, you have certain things that you're really good at that, say, Alyssa stinks at, and Alyssa's really good at some things that you really stink at, and it really makes no difference. It's taking the time to know each and every one of you and learn your differences and embrace your differences and find those things that you really like and, keep motivating you and encouraging you and loving you to keep doing them. Find what you love, find what you do.
And let's see. What's your best memory of me since...
best memory of you. There's so many great memories, to be honest with you, but some of my favorites are just the time we've gotten to, spend together. I miss our drives to school in middle school or hanging
those
out.
were fun.
But some of my favorites are the breakfasts that we had before school at Denny's or McDonald's or any of those types of places. The awesome vacations that we got to spend. Just any time that I've gotten to spend, not just with you, but some of those just you and I, daddy-daughter time or, moments. They're etched in my brain. You know.
He used to bring me every Friday when I was in middle school especially. Well, a little in elementary school too, but middle school he would drive me to school because he teaches at the school that I go to. So for like 3 years, he would bring me to breakfast every Friday, usually Denny's. Every once in a while it would be...
Yeah, we had our Denny's.
McDonald's breakfast burritos sometimes. But good times. But chocolate milk every Friday, the best chocolate milk and pancakes, and I would get so full I was about to throw up, but it was so fun.
Yeah, just taking that time, That's
good times.
That's the big one.
And then I had to share it with my sister when I was in 8th grade, but it's whatever.
Oh, poor baby.
And what's your worst memory of me?
Oh, worst memory. You can sometimes have an attitude.
Hey, I don't think I'm that
you can be
bad
quite
compared to the other
stubborn.
kids.
I remember when you were a kid one time, I just kept telling you, all you had to do is say you're sorry and all is well. You refused. You would not say it.
It's hard.
You absolutely refused. You were probably 6, 7 years old, and I thought, oh, boy.
I mean, me compared to Alyssa, though, is probably, very...
Yeah.
Alyssa had way more of an attitude than me.
Honestly, the hardest part and the worst part about being a dad, in this case for you, is anytime I get a phone call when you're out and you're driving somewhere, there's that moment of, oh boy, this better not be a bad phone call. That's
true. I can see that.
The worry that goes into being a parent, as I'm sure any parent can attest, can be scary. And once you get behind the wheel and knowing there's crazy people out there, even when you're out and you get that call and it's an unexpected call and you're thinking, oh boy, this better not be something bad. Please don't be something. And you get the answer call and you talk, everything goes away. But it's those few milliseconds of time where you're like, oh boy, those are probably the hardest parts about being a parent.
Yeah, I mean,
not
Alyssa
being able to control everything.
Stuff.
Yep, your sister being away makes it really tough, but knowing that now that you're technically an adult and doing well on your own and doing what you need to do, that's a great feeling.
All right, well, thanks for coming in today. He's also going to be on the Brooklyn Cafe show later today, talking about a few similar things, but different. So
Sounds
he's
good.
got a long history of life because he's old. So
Oh, thanks.
he's got a lot
I'm
of stuff
old.
to talk about. Oh, last question I'll ask you really
What's that?
quickly. What's your favorite movie? Because I try to ask people that.
Favorite movie? Man, that's a tough
feel like
one.
I'm gonna
So
know.
many great movies, but my favorite quotable movie that we'll use the quotes a lot is Happy Gilmore.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Die Hard.
Die Hard's a
but
great movie, too.
Happy Gilmore is definitely up there.
Yep.
His poster that he gave me is in my room. He
Yep.
also gave me Rocky IV. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed talking to Taylor just as much as I did. Make sure you come back next week for a brand new show with me, Taylor. Follow me on social media at Talkin to Taylor on Instagram and Facebook. Also, find me on the Anchor app if you just feel like listening to my show. See you next time.